The iMovie application is a perfect movie production app. It is not available on PCs. There are two icons in your dock that you can use to locate your iMovie application. You can use the Finder, or you can use the Launchpad. The Finder has a dual face on it, and it is labeled Finder. I click, go to my computer icon. Notice as soon as I do, it opens all of the folders I have housed on my computer hard drive. Click Applications. Scroll down until you locate iMovie. When you locate iMovie, you'll notice that it has the iMovie icon, a purple star with a white frame, and a recording icon in the center. You can also click the search window and enter iMovie and ask your computer to search for it. If you're still having difficulty locating your iMovie application, use the view icons up here at the top. Click the fourth one, and it will bring up all of the icons for your applications. iMovie appears, purple star, white frame, with a recording icon in the center, and it is labeled iMovie. You can scroll through these icons and identify your applications via the icon. Another method for locating your iMovie application is to click the Launchpad tool. The Launchpad tool houses icons for all of the applications that you have on your computer. I can search for it by entering the name, and it brings up the icon for iMovie, the purple star, white frame with the movie icon in the center, and it is labeled iMovie. I can also look at all of the icons that appear, and it may appear in a grouping. Here is the icon for iMovie in a group. It's purple, white frame, movie icon in the center, and it is labeled iMovie. When I have found the icon, I just need to click on the icon, and as soon as I do, it places it down here in my dock. I know it's open because of the small black dot that appears below it. And the window has opened to the icons for creating a movie in iMovie. I can also rearrange my icons and center this by clicking on the icon and dragging it over and centering it on my dock. Notice it remains open. It still has the black dot below it, which means that this particular application is open. I can right-click. It gives me a submenu of options. Right now it says Keep in Dock. I have selected this so that when I close up my computer and reopen my computer, this icon will remain in the dock and I will not have to search for it again. If I want to remove it from my dock, I right-click again, go to Options, and deselect Keep in Dock. And as soon as I close the iMovie application, my icon will disappear from my dock. And to use it again, I will need to search for it. So I went to my Launchpad, I clicked, and it has now placed it at the end. I am going to move it to the center, and I'm going to dock it in my dock, and it is ready to go. First, I'm going to open the iMovie application by clicking on the icon in my dock. It will hop to let me know that I have selected it, and then it will open. Up here at the top, you'll see the iMovie toolbar. iMovie, File, Edit, Mark, Modify, View, Window, Help. The iMovie drop-down menu tool will give me access to licenses, information, preferences. This menu is an automatic applied default action. Anything that appears here will be applied to all projects that you begin. You can always edit those within the project itself. If you notice, here is the first action that you can affect, slow-mo clips. You can apply slow motion automatically by clicking here. You can determine where you want your photos placed by selecting Fit, Crop to Fill, or Ken Burns. Fit means it will fill the slide frame. Crop to Fill means you can determine what you want of the image to appear in your video. And the Ken Burns effect is a fluid, dramatic motion. You can affect the photo duration, meaning you can change the number of seconds that it will appear on your screen during the video by simply clicking and editing the number of seconds. But you can also edit the number of seconds the photo appears on screen within the application itself. You can also edit the transition time for each of the transitions that you include in your video by simply clicking on the box and editing the numbers. You can click in this box for Theater. This is the Theater tab. And what that will do is when you have published your project, it will automatically upload your published content to iCloud. And when it is sent to iCloud, you then have access to it. If you don't have an iCloud account, you can click here to learn more. And then, of course, you can delete rendered files. This is a very brief explanation, but you can always click on this Help button and it will give you further explanation and in-depth definition for each of the behaviors and actions that you can take within the iMovie preferences. The next tool in the toolbar is the File. File is pretty much like any other application that you work with. It's where you open new files for movies, trailers, app preview. You can import iMovie projects, you can open libraries here, copy them, and share. If you notice under Share, you have 3 options as far as social media sites. Each of these requires that you publish to that particular site. The others are file types. If it's too large a file, you will not be able to email it. This Share and this Share icon provide you with the same options. And of course, you can update here. You can delete here also. Once you delete your project, however, it's very difficult to retrieve your information and your project. The next one is Edit. Edit has very typical actions that you can take, similar to any Word document. You can cut, paste, copy, delete. You can duplicate projects here, video projects, and you can select depending upon what you want to select. All of it, entire clips, select within the movie or deselect. And you have other actions that you can perform. The next one is Mark. You can mark favorites, you can add marks, you can delete marks. Modify is probably the tool that will be of most used to you. Notice that you can detach audio from a video. So if you import a video, you can detach the audio from it and you can edit it. You can split the clip, not just split audio clips, but you can also split video clips. You can trim the clip edge. You can nudge it left or right and move it. You can delete it, detach the audio. You can fade in with a variety of various transitional behaviors that you see here, and you can mute the audio. Here you can see how you can view. This is just like PowerPoint. You can see specific events or projects that you have on your screen. You can zoom in, zoom out. And of course, window, you can open a window based on these particular descriptors. Notice here, you can also use shortcuts from your keyboard. You can go to media by clicking one, and it will take you to this tab and all the files that are here. You can go to projects, click 2 on your keyboard, and it will open this tab, or go to theater and it will open this tab. And of course, you have access to your content, libraries, and other behaviors and actions that you can perform. Here you have help. You can search by specific topic or issue, or generic topics and issues here if you cannot locate an answer in the search via the search window. You can find out what's new in iMovie. You can click keyboard shortcuts. Also access iMovie keyboard shortcuts. It will open this window and give you a list of all of the shortcuts for each of the actions you can perform within iMovie. If I were going to use this list, I would print it out and have it by my side as I work with my video project. So that is in help. I can also click here to find out which cameras are supported by iMovie and how I can contact service and support. So in the iMovie toolbar, we have the iMovie tool, File, Edit, Mark, Modify, View, Windows, and Help. Below that, we have the 3 tabs, Media, Projects, and Theater. And over to the right, you have the Share icon, which is similar to File, Share. Below this set of tabs, you have another filtering search window. You can search here by name, or you can click on this drop-down menu for all projects, and you can filter by the 5 most recent projects, the 20 most recent, those modified in the last 6 months, those projects modified in the last year, or you can also filter by library. And you can look at the library that is the default library, the iMovie library, or you can also add your own library and add it by project name and store your files related to that project in this particular library. And you can add as many libraries as you wish. So we have a toolbar, then we have tabs, we have an icon, and then we have filters. And below that, when you have designed and developed your own projects, they will appear on this page. This is the icon for creating a new video. I can select a clip from within a video. Hold down my R button on my keyboard and my left button on my mouse and scroll across. I'm going to click on my video, hover across the images. I'm going to now click my R button, hold down my left button on my mouse, scroll across, the skimmer window appears. I can adjust it to reflect the range of the clip I need for my project. I'm going to release both buttons. Now it has a plus sign for adding. Hover over the plus sign, add the selection to the video, click. It is now available to me for my project. Let me do this again. iMovie trailer. This is different from a movie. First thing you're going to do is open your iMovie application, which is the purple star with a white frame and the camcorder icon. When it opens, it's going to open in projects. There are two methods you can use to create a new trailer. You can use the iMovie toolbar and click File, New Trailer, or you can use this icon that says Create New. Click the plus sign and two options will appear, Movie or Trailer. A trailer is a template to create a Hollywood-style movie trailer. There's brief and ready-made. Which library would you like to create this project in? You can choose the library where you would like to leave this when you're done. You can select the default library, or if you've created an extra library, you can also choose that. And click OK. As soon as I do, the templates for the trailers will appear. Trailers. Notice each one has a different theme. They all vary in length, as well as vary in the number of characters that can be included in the template. In order to preview each of these, all you need to do is hover over the template. As soon as you click the play button, a blue frame will appear. This one has 2 cast members and is 1 minute 7 seconds in length. This one allows for 2 to 6 cast members and is 54 seconds in length. This one allows for 1 cast member and is 54 seconds in length. So I'm going to choose this one. I'll click the play button so that I can preview and see if this fits my needs. The media you see included in this particular trailer was provided by the videographer. The music, the soundtrack, is attached to this particular trailer. The actions for the text are set. They cannot be edited. However, the text can be edited, as well as the credits. So once you've chosen which trailer you would like to use to create your movie trailer, all you need to do is hover over it. As soon as you click on it, the blue frame appears. This is the one that I'm going to select. This is the one that I'm going to use. And I'm going down to the right corner, and I can either click Cancel or Create. I'm going to click Create. It will load the trailer that I have chosen. Notice at the bottom of this window, I have 3 tabs: Outline tab, Storyboard tab, Shot List. Up on the left, you'll notice that the Project Media category has the title of my project. This is the default title for this trailer. I am in my extra library. The first thing I'm going to do is click on my media title because I need to import media for this specific trailer. I can use this button to import media, or I can use the File drop-down menu and Support. I can use the File drop-down menu and select Import Media. I'm going to select this tool. For my trailer, I am going to use images. However, for your trailer, you can use videos or images. Either one will work. I'm going to click on the first one for my images that I'm going to include in my trailer. And I'm going to scroll down and select one of the last ones and use my shift button to select all of the images that I want to include as media. Then I will come down here to this window where it says close or import, and I'm going to import my selected media. Notice the size of my icons. I can alter the size of my icons by clicking on this little tool. I can adjust the clip size and make them small or large. I can zoom into all of them. And if I have video, I can show the waveform of the audio file. I'm going to leave them at this size. So the first thing I'm going to work with is the outline. Notice there are several categories that I can edit. The name and date. The name of my movie is going to be edited. So I click and add my title. I'm going to leave this as is. It is generally best in this particular template to leave this as one word because it causes some problems if you add more than one word to this particular template in this part of the text. I'm going to edit the star's name. And edit his last name. I can choose his gender by clicking. I can change the name of my studio, and I can change the logo style for my studio. Colored bars are the logo style for this particular template. But if I want to change it, all I need to do is click and I will see it previewed in my preview window. But for this one, I'm going to keep it at the default. Below that, you'll see the credits. I have created other trailers before and created my credits, so it will automatically insert the very same information in my credits. I'm going to now click on storyboard since I have completed my outline. Here again, I can edit the text in any of these boxes. This is the first time I've seen this particular icon, so now I know that I must insert media. Notice this particular media is going to run for 3.3 seconds. I cannot adjust this in my template. So I'm going to select, and it automatically places it. As soon as I click on this and insert media, the next box is highlighted. All I need to do is select the next media. Now, since these templates use video, if you notice as I hover over my icons, there is a small box that appears. This rectangle runs the length of my image. This is for use with videos. This will indicate to you as you scroll across the video which part of the video you would like included. You're going to skim the video as you scroll across. I'm going to skim this image, stop here, click, and it would add that particular part of the image to my movie. And as I keep clicking, I'm going to decrease these so that I can see them a little better. I'm going to continue to click and add. And click and click, click and click, and click again, and click. So it's much easier to have a file set ready for you to use and just bring in what you need. Now my movie is ready. I can go to the shot list, and this gives me the particular information related to how each of these images will be displayed when I play my video. These will be action shots, close-up shots, medium shots, and wide-angle shots. And again, you can use a combination of video and images or all video inputs for each of these. I'm going back to my storyboard, click, and now I can preview my completed template. I can use this button to play, or I can do a full screen and use my space bar. And credits will now be shown. Press exit button and it will bring me back to my media page. Notice I now have Goldman Spy 2. That means I have a previous version stored in my library. And here it is. I'm going to get rid of that one. I will right click. And here I can delete this event. All of the media for that particular event will be deleted. However, the media that I used for my present template continues to remain in my library. So if I'm satisfied with what I see, I can now click Projects. It will check and make sure that this is the title that I want to keep. I click OK, and it will take me to Projects. And here is my template. Here is my trailer, The Goldman Spy. Notice as I hover over it, it still has the old title. I can click on this circle, and I can play the movie. I will go back to Projects, and now my title has been edited. Also, within this circle drop-down menu, I can open the project to edit it. I can share the project to my theater, social media sites, and other file types. When I share it to theater, I can add it to my iCloud account. I can copy to the library. This is the default library, or move it to the default library. I can convert the trailer to movie and add it to a movie that I am producing. I can rename it, duplicate it, and delete it. Below that, you will see the length of the trailer as well as when it was created. I'm going to add it to my theater. So this tab will open. As soon as I ask it to add it to my theater, it is going to appear in the theater menu, and you will see the iCloud icon appear in the corner. Below the title, you will notice that it says that it is creating the movie to publish to my iCloud account. Over here on the left, you will see the circle as it is being filled, letting you know that it is being published to your iCloud account. Here is the drop-down menu, and you can X out if you do not want to publish it to your iCloud account. I have two versions. I want to get rid of this one. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go to the drop-down menu. I'm going to select delete. Now, when I select delete, it's going to give me some options. Are you sure you want to delete the Goldman Spy from iCloud? Because I had previously published it to iCloud. I can delete it just from the iCloud account, and it will be removed from all my iCloud devices, or I can delete it from everywhere. So it depends on the action that you want to complete. I'm going to delete this version from everywhere, and now it's gone. This is almost published to my iCloud account. And once it is published, this bar will disappear and this information will disappear. And when I go to my iCloud account, it will be available to me to access. Now when I click Projects, here is my trailer ready to use. If I go to Media, I can find it here in my library. I'm going back to Projects. And that is how you create an iMovie trailer. application, purple star, white frame, icon of a camcorder. Click it once and it will open to the projects page. Projects. There are two ways to open a new trailer. I can click File, New Trailer, or use this icon labeled Create New. Click the plus sign. Now I have two options, Movie, Trailer. I'm going to select Trailer. Now it asks a question, which library would you like to create this project in? The default library is the iMovie library, but you can also create your own libraries to create this project in. I have chosen Flowers and click OK, and now the trailers will appear. All of these are templates. They are brief in length. You can see the length of each of these trailers by looking below the cast member information. This tells you how many cast members or placeholders you will have for each of these trailers. Each of these trailers have a specific theme. To preview one of these trailers, all I have to do is hover over the trailer and the play button will appear, as well as a blue frame. I can click the play button. The music you hear is music that has been attached to this particular trailer. Each one has its own dedicated soundtrack. The action you see occurring with the text is specific to this trailer. The video you see in this trailer is provided by the videographer. And the credit format at the end of the trailer is specific to all of the trailers. I'm going to click off a bit and I'm going to scroll down, and you can see that there are quite a number of trailers to choose from, and each one can be previewed. For my purposes today, I'm going to select this trailer. To select it, I click, the blue frame appears. Now I have two choices. I can cancel my choice and close this window of trailers menus, and I can select Create. If I click Cancel, it takes me back to project pages. It takes me back to the project window. I can click here to open the project for trailer, select my library, and I'm back at the trailers window. I'm going to select Love Story and click Create. When it opens, it's going to open in my media window. Notice up here on the left, you will see the title of this template, Love Story. I'm going to click, and now it gives me an additional button. I want to put all of this away so it's not distracting, and I can use this button to close that menu. Notice I am in My Media. Over to the right, you will see a preview window where I can preview my video. If I want to increase the size of my preview window, I can lower it and I can raise it by clicking on this line that divides my media from my script information. This is the script for my trailer. It has 3 tabs: Outline, Storyboard, and Shot List. The first thing I'm going to do is edit my outline. You can edit the name and date, the cast, the studio, and the credits. First, I'm going to edit the title. I have a poem that I'm going to use to create this particular trailer. So I'm going to copy this and paste it. I'm going to delete the release date, and rather than have a release date, I'm going to select the author's name and paste it. Now I can edit the cast members' names. Here, I'm going to write enter nature. I will leave it at female. I'm going to change the cast member here to flowers and change this to female. I'm going to maintain my studio name as Mother Nature's Creation. I'm going to change the logo style by clicking on this drop-down menu, and I can preview what each of these logo styles will look like by clicking on it and looking at my preview window. I'm going to select Dandelion. Now I'm down to editing the credits. I can list whoever is creating this, so I am directing it, editing it. However, this was written by William Shakespeare, so I'm going to enter his name. I'm the executive producer, the director of photography. My media has been taken from National Geographic videos, the production designer, Mother Nature, and these will remain as is. The iTunes that you see here, music by iTunes, there is, as I said, the soundtrack is attached to this particular trailer, and I'm not sure of its title, so I'm just going to allow it to stand as iTunes. So I have finished my outline. My next tab is my storyboard. Here is where I include the title, and I can edit by simply clicking and entering. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to my poetry and copy the first line. Pasting it in this text box. I'm going to do the same with the next. Click in the box, delete that. Going to my poetry. Copy the text, pasting it in the box. Going to the next text, copying the poetry line, pasting it in my next box. Notice it has added the characters' names, nature, flowers, nature and flowers, spring, and at the end where it would normally show the release date, it has the author of the poem, the poet. Now I need to fill in these placeholders for the media that I want to use. I do not have any media uploaded for this particular project, so I'm going to click Import Media here, or I can also click in my iMovie toolbar, File, Import Media. I'm going to use this button. Notice as soon as I do, it opens my files. The media I'm going to use is here. I'm going to click the first file, hold down my Shift button, click the last file, and it highlights all of them at once and import selected. So this is the media that I'm going to be using for my trailer. Notice this blue bar. This is the audio file from the video that I used for my media. So what I'm going to do now is expand these. How can I expand them? There is a tool right here to your right. I'm going to click on it, and I can adjust the clip size. I can also zoom in by using this slide bar. If I do not want to see the audio file here, the waveforms, I can deselect this and it removes it. When I have video with audio, it does not apply it to these trailers. So I'm going to stretch these out a little bit more. I can always come back and resize these. So as I scroll through my media, the first thing I want to notice and be aware of is how it's describing the media that I need to insert here. So I'm going to select a landscape. I don't have any landscape images, but I do have some clusters of flowers that I can choose from. Notice as I scroll across the image changes, and I can see what is happening with the image, the video clip, by looking at my preview window. So I'm going to scroll across, I'm going to click, and as I click, it enters it here. I'm going to click here, and notice it has already been selected for me. This says landscape 4.9 seconds. So I'm going to select another window, another video clip, select it, and it has now entered it. The next one is highlighted. I don't want this one here, so all I need to do is move it over. I'm going to click in this window again and grab this. The next piece of my storyboard tells me that there is an additional background. So I'm going to go up to the top, and I'm going to grab another section of video and click again. And now I'm going to expand these so that I can see a little bit better what I have available to use. And I'm going to ask it to show my waveform to make it easier to determine where the division is. So click up, and I'm going to click here. Click, select another one. It continues to move forward. All I need to do is fill in the placeholder. And all I'm doing is scrolling through my video clips, clicking and selecting. So I now have all my placeholders complete. I'm going to my shot list. I'm going to hover over these to preview them, and I can see them in my preview window. This one has some text. I'm going to just choose another one, replace it. So this is my shot list. So now I'm going back to my storyboard, and I'm going to click on the first part of this, and I'm going to click play. Now when I click play, I can also view this full screen. I'm going to stop this because I have some text here. Now I can preview my trailer. I can view it full screen. Notice it reveals the character name. So I have completed my trailer. I can use this to introduce this poem in my classroom or a seasonal unit. Now it's time to see what I can do with this project as far as iMovie. I'm going to click on Projects. As soon as I do, it gives me the title of my project, but I also want to include his name. And click OK. It will take me to my projects page, and here is my project. Below it you will see the title and the author. If I hover over it, it will give you the duration of this particular trailer as well as the date it was created. There is a small circle that appears to the right of the title. I can click here and it will give me a number of options. I can play the movie, open the project to edit it if that's what I want. I can share the project via social media sites or different file types. I can copy it to a different library. I can move it to another library. Right now it sits in my Flowers library. I can convert the trailer to a movie, making it editable. I can rename the project, duplicate the project, or delete the project completely. If I select to share and I click Theater, the Theater tab will open. And here it is. Now, what's happening, if you notice, there's a bar at the bottom giving me information about how it is publishing to my iCloud account. I'll also notice over here to the right, there is a circle that indicates how far along the publishing process is for my iCloud account. This was checked off in my iMovie preferences. So it will publish this to my iCloud account and I have access to it via my iCloud account. If I don't want it published there, I can click on this X. In the meantime, as it's progressing, if you also notice, I have another project that's labeled Spring, William Shakespeare. I don't want to keep this one. I can delete this project by going to the circle that appears at the right of his name, and notice it gives me a delete option, but I have to select it first. Once I select it, now it activates these actions that I can take. I can play it, rename it, delete it, upload it, or go to the project. I'm going to delete this. Once I delete it, it will be deleted from my iCloud account or not, depending upon the choice that I make. If I click delete, it will ask, are you sure you want to delete Spring? Yes. Once I delete it, it has been deleted from all of my devices. Notice the progress bar. It continues to publish this to my iCloud account. As soon as it reaches this end, it will have been published. It's almost ready. If I click this right button, I have the same actions that I can take: play, rename, delete, remove, or go to the project. First, I have to select it. It's now published to my iCloud account. If I select delete, it gives me two options. Are you sure you want to delete Spring, William Shakespeare from iCloud? This movie will be deleted from this Mac and removed from your other devices that have iCloud turned on. To keep a copy on this Mac, click Delete from iCloud. So I have the choice of just deleting it from my iCloud account or deleting it everywhere, including my computer. I'm going to hold on to this, so I'm going to cancel this delete. And it will remain in my projects menu until I remove it. If I click Media, now you will see that I am in my project titled Spring, William Shakespeare. I have all the clips. This is my trailer, and it is now housed in my Flowers library. If I wanted to create another library, I would go to File, Open Library. Notice I have the option of creating a new library. It's just a way to sort your projects so that you can find them easily and keep, for example, if you have several trailers that address the same topic or unit of study or content, you can house them all in one library. So for example, I can provide this library with a new name of examples, And now my library will be created. And where do I want it created? In my movies. So I'm going to select Save, and here it is. So when I create another training video, if I wanted to house it in examples, when it gives me the options in projects to create a new trailer, I can select examples and it will house my new project in this library. So that is how you create an iMovie trailer. an iMovie movie. First, I'm going to open my application. Purple star, white frame, camcorder icon. Click, it will bounce, it will open to iMovie projects. I'm going to use this icon, create new, click on the plus sign, click iMovie. It's going to ask me which library would you like to create this project in. I'm going to select flowers. OK. Opens in my media. Up here at the top, here is my title for my project. I'm going to click and it's going to give me an import media button as well as a blank preview area, and this is the timeline. Notice you can drag and drop video clips and photos from the browser above. This is the browser to start creating your movie, and down here below you have an audio file, music file area also. Before we begin, I'm going to scoot this over and I'm going to open a file. This is my file for this particular project. I recommend that you create a file of all the media that you will be using for your first movie or for your movie. It makes it easier to find, and you can use it later if you need to edit your project. And everything is in one place, and you've done everything beforehand, and all you need to do now is bring it into your project. I'm going to show you how I captured some of these images. I have images that are JPEGs and PNGs. I also have audio files that I may consider using, and I have QuickTime files. I'm going to ask my computer to arrange these by application, and when I do, notice it places it in specific categories. If I wanted to, I could also click Arrange and click Kind, and now it sorts it by the type of file that it is in the event that I need to or want to select for or search for a specific file type. How did I add my images to my file? I'm going to open my browser. I'm going to use Google, and my topic for my video is nature. When nature opens up, I'm going to click Images. I'm going to drag this down and drag up my file and put it up here at the top. I'm going to drag this up. I'm going to look at my images here and select one that I haven't added. I'm going to select one having to do with nature, and I want it to be colorful, so I'm going to keep looking until I find something that I like. I'll click these flowers. I'm going to click my left button, drag it over here. Notice as soon as I reach my file, a yellow frame appears. I'm going to release it, and here is the image that I just added. A note about images from Google. Make sure that the Google images that you use are copyright free. So a way to do that is to click on Tools. You can search by size of image. You can select the color. For example, if I just wanted black and white, I can bring up just black and white as my filter. I can also select the type of image that I want, anything from face images to photo images, clip art, and line drawings. If I just wanted line drawings, these would come up. I can also ask my computer to filter these by when they were uploaded in the past 24 hours, past week, custom range if I wanted to set a particular time. This is the important filter, usage rights. Here I have noted that these are not filtered by license, so I have to be careful about using these. I can search for images that are labeled for reuse with modification, labeled for reuse, non-commercial reuse with modification, or labeled for non-commercial reuse. So I'm going to select label for reuse, and these I can reuse without too many issues if they're seen in my video. So I'm going to select this one. I'm going to hold down my button, grab it, and drag it over to my file, release it, and I think it's been added to my file here, my nature file for my movie, and here it is. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how you can download some royalty-free music. This is important. Jamendo music is pretty popular in schools for downloading music. Notice when it opens, I have two options here: music for videos, radio stations for stores. So I can click music for video. What I love about this site is these are not popular musicians. However, they are amazing musicians, and you can use their music as long as you give credit where credit is due. It's going to take a little bit to load. Notice you can search my specific type, or if you scroll down, you'll see some filters in place. I'm going to select instrumental. Now, when you select the type of music or the genre of music that you would like, you can also select the instrument type: pop, rock, electronic, instrumental, urban, world, reggae, grooves, period, or others, acoustic as opposed to ambient, atmospheric, down-tempo, easy listening, lounge, or trip. And here are additional filters. For example, if I wanted easy listening, it would bring up easy listening music. And all of this is going to come up with music that I might find useful in my image. So I'm back arrowing. I could search for nature and it would bring up music of soothing nature sounds, but I don't want soothing nature sounds. I just want some soundtrack music. So I'm going to scroll down and see which one of these titles kind of appeals to me, and I'm going to preview it. I can preview it by clicking on this play button. This one is titled Upbeat. Notice it shows me over here to the right. The length of the song is 4 minutes, 35 seconds, and I can add it. Sounds pretty good so far. I think I'm just going to go ahead and select it. So to select this and download, I'm going to click Upbeat, the title. Notice it gives me an option, download, and I can preview it again if I wish. I'm going to click this, and it's going to start downloading. First, it will show me save file, and it comes to my save file icon. I wait for this to download, and then it will appear in a download list once I click that image or that icon. So I'm waiting for it to download. You can also search, for example, if you really like this particular artist's recording, you can click on his name or their name, and it will bring up all of the recordings that they have posted on Jamendo. Okay, this is almost done. Notice it also has all the instruments that they have used in the performance of this particular recording. It also tells you the type of music, the genre that it would be included in, as well as the type of music that you might want to use this music for. So going to my download icon, I'm going to click this. Here is my recording downloaded. All I have to do is hold down my left button, click on it, hold it, hold it, hold it, drag it up to my file, release it, and now it is in my downloaded to my nature project file. I'm going to scroll up or move this up. I'm going to back arrow and get back to my page because there's one more thing that I need to do. I'm going to find the title again. I'm going to use a screen capture tool to capture this information because this will help me later when I need to give them credit. I now have screen captured it. It's sitting on my desktop, so I'm going to move some windows around, and here I believe it's a small one, and here it is. So I'm going to take this and going to hold it in my files here, and notice the yellow frame around my files is highlighted. I can release it, and here is my screenshot, and here is my title. So I'll remember where that is. So this file is going to help me because everything I need for my video and everything that I want to possibly include will be included here. So I've done my research ahead of time. I'm going to close this file, drag this over so it's not, my desktop isn't distracting to you. I'm going to click on my movie and bring this up. So I have two ways to import movie media. I can click the Import Media button here, or I can go to File, Import Media. I'm just going to click here. When I click this, it's going to open my files, going to my desktop. Here it is. Now I can scroll down, and it should show up. And here it is, Nature Project. Normally it would appear closed, so I'm going to ask it to import a lot of media. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on the first one, hold down my Shift button. I'm going to scroll down until I come to the end of this list, and I know I'm at the end because this does not belong to my folder. I'm going to click here. Now they're all highlighted. I select Import, and now it's going to import all of my media that I can use. Notice it has my video. It has my images. These are audio files. And then I also have my images that I recently added. So this is where I'm going to build my movie. I can search for specific ones. Let's see, if I enter birds, will it bring up birds? Yes, there it is. And I'm going to go back to my media, and now I just want to see all clips and make it appear. Make it visible to me, all my clips, come on. And I'm going to go to flowers here. Yes, there it is. It's in my flowers library, and here is all my media, and I'm in my media right here. So this is all the media that I think I may or may not use in my project. We'll see. So notice up here at the top, it says My Media, Audio, Titles, Backgrounds, and Transitions. Then over to the right, you're going to see this is a highlighter. You'll see how this works. Notice the tools next to it that highlight when I click on it. And then, of course, you can always reset everything. Here is my clip size adjuster, so I increase the icon size. I can also zoom in and zoom out. And I can use a skimmer to select the images that I want from here. I can show the waveform for my videos, or I can remove it by deselecting Show Waveform. I'm going to leave everything as is. Tell it to show me all clips. There we are. So here are all my clips. I did that by clicking the X. So now I can begin to build my movie. I'm going to use many of the tools that you see here, and I will be using these tools. The first one I'm going to choose is Title. So I can choose any of these for my title, and I'm going to drag this down by clicking on this line and dragging it down, and I can see this a little better. And so I can choose any of these, and I'm going to choose, if I hover over it in my preview, I can see some of them, what it would look like. And I'm going to choose Pixie Dust. I'm going to click Pixie Dust. I'm going to drag it down here. Notice once I drag it, the placeholder is in the timeline. I'm going to close this up, bring this up, give myself a little room up there. So this is my title, and it's going to appear this way. It's ready for me to edit. So the title that I'm going to give this is nature. If I don't like the color, I can always edit the color of my text by highlighting it, clicking this little color box, and I'm going to choose purple. I can also edit the font, and I'm going to choose a script, and I cannot make it any larger, but I can bold it. I can give it a shadow. So now my title is ready, and I can't see it very well, and I'm going to close this. But that's okay, because I'm not done with my title. I'm going to go to background. Watch what happens when I pull in any of these background colors. For example, if I wanted yellow, I would just drag it down and replace. And notice once I replace it, it gives me that color up here. But I'm not particularly interested in this tan color. I'm going to use the underwater color since this is a nature video. And I'm going to go back to titles, and usually it keeps the title template, but it didn't this time. That's okay. I'm going to drag it on top, click, and now I can edit the title again. And I'm going to highlight it, going to change the color. I'm going to use purple and change the font. I'm going to add an outline and bold it. I can put this away. Now I've added a title, changed the background, and added the text. The last thing I'm going to add to any of my videos at any given time is the soundtrack. And the soundtrack will go in last because every time you add it beforehand, it tends to readjust the timing on your video. So the next thing I want to add will be my transition. I'm going to select one of these, and I can preview them by just hovering over it. And if you watch the preview or watch the icon for the transition, you can see how it will interact with your media. So the one I'm going to use for this one is Ripple. I'm going to click on it, and all I have to do is click and drag. And it's added it, but notice what happens. Every time you add a new element to your timeline, it tends to readjust the timing for everything. I want my title to run about 10 seconds, or maybe 5. So I'm going to drag it out, and if you watch as I'm dragging it out, the seconds are increasing. I need to increase the length of my title. Right here it tells me how many seconds this will run as well as my title. My transition is going to run 3.9 seconds, which is a nice timing given the behavior of this particular transition. So I'm now ready to add my very first media element. So I'm going to select a quote that I have. But before I select the quote, I'm going to select this image. I'm going to drag it down. Notice this is an image, but it treats it like a video element by expanding it. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to use some special effects. This is a tool to help me design how this particular image is going to function. If I click on Ken Burns, it gives me these two elements to work with. And all I need to do is reframe, and I want it to start here, and I want it to end here. I'm going to increase the size of this because I'm going to do something special with that particular image and the quote that I have. I'm going to increase the size for this. Let me bring it over a little bit and increase the size by dragging on the corners. Just scoot it over. Now I'm going to add an image to this, and it's my quote. So I'm going to take the quote that I have it. I'm going to place it right here on top. Notice how it expands it, and it treats it like videos. I'm going to take this and I'm going to expand this one too. I'm going to stretch it out. Now at the moment, the only thing that you see if I were to play this would be this particular quote. But I want to do more with it. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going up here to the preview page. I'm going to click this, and I'm going to ask my application to make it fit. I want it to fit I don't want to have any other kind of special effect applied to this. I'm going to click here and select picture in picture, which means I can now have this appear within the picture. So I'm going to place it in the center because I need to place it where I want it to appear. I'm going to kind of center it. Then I'm going to maintain dissolve. You can have it dissolve, zoom, or swap, but I'm going to have it dissolve. The timing is fine. If I wanted to, I could give it a frame. I can change the color of the frame, and I'm going to change it to blue. No, not that blue. I'm going to use a darker blue, or select shadow so it appears to be floating here. I'm going to close my color choices. Now I can preview this. I'm going to click at the end of this selection. I'm going to view and I'm going to click play selection. Watch the preview window so you can see the effects and how this works. That fluid movement is a product of the Ken Burns style. So I'm going to scroll over some. Notice this is not lined up, which means this image will stop before it gets to the end of the clip. So I'm going to scoot it over some. Next thing I'm going to add is a transition, and watch what happens when the transition is added. Notice how it tends to shorten the clip. So I'm going to take this and stretch it out, and I want this to run a little longer so that my audience can read it while it's floating. So I'm going to extend it to 10 seconds. Keep going and stop. And I'm going to extend this to 10 seconds, going and stop. Going to scoot the entire page over. So now I'm going to insert my next media piece. The next piece I'm going to add will be an image, and this time I'm going to select something that is similar in colors. I'm going to add this beautiful sunset, and I'm going to add a bird right above it. So I'm going to add this one since it's somewhat similar in color. I'm going to scoot this over, and I'm going to drag this over. So again, I can have it as a cutaway, but first I want to work with this. I'm going to readjust the Ken Burns and have it float across for some visual effect and beauty. And now I'm going to work with the image of the bird. Well, I want it to fit. And then I'm going to go to this type of a setting, and I'm going to affect the way that it appears. I can make it completely transparent so that it appears as it's part of the frame. I can have it fade out after a certain number of seconds, but notice now I have this frame, so I'm going to click on it again and go back to the framing. And if I use crop to fill, I really can't include the entire bird. Even if I try to expand this, it doesn't really include the entire image. So I'll try once more. I wasn't wanting to use Ken Burns, but I will. And I'm going to start it at the bottom this time, and then it will end at the top. So I'm going to go up here to the top, click on it to read it. The reason it did that was because the cursor was all the way at the end of the image. So I'm going to leave that one there. And this is where I want it to end. So I can click on this and click View, Play Selection, and now you can see how it floats in and out. So the next thing I'm going to add is my transition. So I'm going to select ripple, and again it's going to play with the timing on my image. So I'm going to drag this out and click on it and just hold down my left button until I get to 10 seconds. And then I have to go up to the image, go to 10 seconds. Now I'm going to scroll back. I'm already at 30 seconds. I can add another media piece. So what I'm going to add here is simply a media piece. I'm not going to do anything special with it. I'll take this butterfly, I'm going to add it, and if all I wanted to do is fit the screen, I click fit the screen. I'll shorten this to 5 seconds. And if you notice, the way that I shorten is I click on the clip and click. Okay, so now I have an image and nothing more. I'm going to go to my transitions. It's going to cause me issues with my timing again. And then drag this out. No big deal. Now I can add another image. This time I'm going to take this image, going to drag it in, and I'm going to place a quote. So I'm going to take his quote, good old Henry Thoreau, place it above it. I'm going to click on this, expand this, stretch it out, and I have a feeling that this is going to need more time because it is an image. I'm going to click here, here. Need to work with this, and I love the Ken Burns approach, the Ken Burns style. I think I'm just going to leave it as is, and I'm going to go to the Rose quote. I'm going to say fit. I'll go up here, and I'm going to make it a little bit transparent, just enough to be able to read it, but see the background. I'm going to click here, and so it knows where I want it to start to preview, and click from the beginning. I didn't edit my title. Got to go up here, stop. I'll go back to the beginning, click text, and when I click right here, there it is. I'll add title, change this. I'm going to click here, choose purple. I'm just going to leave it as is. It looks pretty like that. And I'm going to close this, and I'm going to tell it, okay, I caught my mistake. Go ahead, play from the beginning now, and I'll scroll across so you can see there's the ripple effect. There's my quote floating above the waterfall as the waterfall moves upward. There's the ripple effect. Here is my transparent black-winged redbird, I believe, it may not be. And just my ripple effect with this butterfly. And now it's going to review the quote within the image. And done. So I'm going up to my transitions now. I'm going to the end of my video, and I can certainly bring these in so that I don't have to keep scrolling back and forth, and bring it out just a little so I can see it. I'm going to grab ripple and add it. I'm going to lengthen this. think I'll give it 15 seconds, make it easier to read, and lengthen my quote. And I'm going to move my quote over so that it appears a little sooner than it was appearing. And I'm going to lengthen this one more time. So now I have videos, I've added images and quotes and inserted quotes and their overlay for an image. I'm going to select this one, drag it in. Yeah, I don't want all of this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the clip, and right now I'm just skimming the video, and I'm going to stop when I reach here. I'm going to left click, it leaves the cutting line. I'm going to modify and say split the clip. So now I can delete this. I want to split the clip here. I click, split the clip. And I have some of the yellow flower in this clip, so I'm going to split it one more time. Click, split the clip. And now I can get rid of this. And I can get rid of this. I can delete that. And this has moved. There. I want this yellow flower. I'm going to click here and split the clip. And of all of these, the only one I want is the iris. So I'm going to move forward here, click, and split the clip. And I'm going to delete this piece. And all I want is the iris. So I'm going to click, split the clip. I'm going to highlight this and delete. So now I have two video clips that I'm going to use. Notice they have an audio attached to them, and I'll do something with that in a second. Here I have yellow flowers, so I'm going to bring in this bird, and I'm going to place him right here. I'm going to stretch this out a little bit. I want to do something special with the bird, so I'm going to click here, going to say fit, and I'm going to make him a split screen. So I can do a split screen with this, but I have to work with this. So I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to do a Ken Burns effect with this. I'm going to move this. And this is where I want it to end. And this is where I want it to begin. I'm going to start up here and expand the end. I have to do some more clipping. Okay, so I'm going up here. I'm going to, where is that? And skim across the video. And just leave it. Okay, I'm going to click here, and I'll say, okay, view selection. So I have to click my selection. Where do I want to begin? And say play selection. All right. Now, if I wanted to, I could also click the bird, go up here to the top, select picture in picture, or let me select cutaway. And now I can make him transparent also. And as the flower opens, you will see the word. So I need to add my transition. I'm going to add ripple. And add ripple. Control copy, delete, add ripple, expand this again. And now I see I'm going to split this clip. Modify split and delete this. And expand it one more time and expand this. Still have it. I'll just leave it as is. So I'm going to click here, going back to my media. So I can also add audio to my media. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in this beautiful mountain range image, and I'm going to add this quote above it. I'm going to move this, expand this. I'm going to click here and expand this. Now I have to adjust the images, so I'm going to use a fit the clip. I'm going to allow this to remain as is, but I need to place this, and I'm going to do a picture in picture. So I select picture in picture. I'm going to place this here. I'm going to enlarge this and place him over here in the corner. And now I can add an audio, a recording, a narration. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click right here where I want my narration to begin. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to create a recording. I'm going to read the line from Van Gogh. Here is the mic for recording a voiceover. As soon as I click this, a red button will appear. When I click the red button, it will give me a countdown of 3, 2, 1. I begin to record. When I'm done, I click the button again and click done. Record. If you truly love nature, you will find beauty everywhere. Van Gogh. Now, I can scoot this over and place it wherever I wish. I cannot expand this because there's only 11.9 seconds here to begin playing in the middle. So I'm going to ask my computer to please preview this, play this selection. If you truly love nature, you will find beauty everywhere. Van Gogh. So I can add this to my clip. I can move it over wherever I want, or I can have it present at the beginning, but I'm going to keep it in the middle. So now I've shown you how to do a voiceover, and now it is time to add a transition. I'm going to add ripple and drag this out and leave that where it is. Do this, oops, and drag it over. Now I'll add ripple. So here we are. And there. Scoot this over a little bit. I've added a video, I've added text, I've added images, I've added a narration. I'm going back to my media, and now what I can do is I can add an actual live video. How do I do that? The way that I can do that is by clicking File, Import Media. If I click Import Media, it gives me some choices. It opens in my desktop or my hard drive, whatever I was using when I first imported media. But I also have a FaceTime camera that's built into my computer. I also have the option of importing it to a variety of places. I can import it to my different libraries, or I can import it to my project media, which would place it here. I'm going to click on the camera and it is going to open the camera. I have a nature painting and it will capture my voice. Click the camera, it will open. I'm going to lower my camera and now I can record. This painting was painted by a local artist. Notice it is all florals. He loved florals. He used the palette technique and he loved nature. Now I can click, close. Notice in my media, here's my video. So all I need to do to include it is to grab it, and here it is. It is of a specific length, so I cannot expand it anymore, but it does have my narration included. Now I have live video, live narration, video added, images, transitions. I need to add a transition, so I'm going up here to the top, going to grab ripple and drag. Notice that everything is drag and drop in iMovie. I have used almost all the tools that you see here. My media has been added: audio, titles, background, and transitions. And this video is 2 minutes 17 seconds long. So I'm going to go to the titles one more time. And I'm going to use a very popular technique. First, I'm going to add some media. And let's see, I thought I had a cardinal. Here it is. Going to click, add it there. I'm going to grab this blue jay, click and add it there. Going to transitions and add my transition here. Add my expand this one more time and add a transition here. And lengthen this. Here I have 2 images. When I open my preferences in iMovie, that's what I asked it to do, to use Ken Burns automatically. It's doing it for me without having to go in and change this. What I can do now is go to titles, and I'm going to use a special title template. And what I'm looking for is something called ticker. And ticker runs at the bottom of the image. And here it is. So I'm going to grab it. I'm going to place it above each of these. But I need to shorten it because the ticker is only going to be for this one. And then I'll do another one for the next one. And I'll name this the cardinal. I'm going to highlight the text. I can change it by color. I'm going to make it red. Change the script and change the size, not making it too big because then it won't fit. I'm going to close this. I'm going to drag ticker again, add it to the blue jay, choose blue, picking this beautiful blue, changing this to American typewriter and selecting 36. I'm going to close this out. Now I can click here, I can preview, view, play selection, and notice it travels across the bottom of the image. going to click Show Me the Blue Jay, and there is his ticker. Notice how much slower this is traveling across the screen, the American Blue Jay. If I come up here, scroll across, I'm going to my media and I'm going to grab music. I have several. This is the one I was looking for. I'm going to drag it down here. Notice how it automatically places itself below the clips. I'm going to scrunch this over because some of these clips have tracks already connected. This one does. This blue bar indicates the waveform of the video soundtrack. And this is going to be my soundtrack for this portion. If you don't want to use your own soundtracks, you can always use their audio soundtracks. Here, if you have an iTunes account, you can bring in your music only if you have permission to use it. You can click sound effects, include different types of sound. I usually go to the jingles, the length of the recording, and you can preview them by clicking on the selection. This one will run 1 minute, 18 seconds. This one, you'll notice they have different lengths. All you need to do, like all the other actions that you take, is grab and drop. Yeah, it's interfering with my recording here, but that's okay because I can raise the volume of my recording by clicking on it and raising this yellow bar. I can click on this and lower the volume, draw this back, because it's covering an additional recording here. So that will mean that they will compete. There is also a recording here. So I'm going to bring this in, move it over. When I play this, I'm going to click, I'm going to select, play selection, and it's going to play everything at once that you see. Including my narration. If you truly love nature, you will find beauty everywhere. Van Gogh. This painting was painted by a local artist. Notice it is. Now, I can detach this if I wish. If I don't want this recording, I can highlight it. I can go up to modify, detach the audio, and I can delete the audio if I do not want this. But I do, so I'm going to say undo, detach. The last thing that I need to add, I've added music. I can add music here. Not to this piece because it does have music, but these two do not. So I can go back to my media. I can grab one of my music files that I saved from Jamendo, and I can add it here. And I'm going to have it fade the other way. I'm going to start on this end and go this way. Notice when I work with audio file, these icons that appear, I can adjust it automatically, and right now it's set automatically, so I can adjust it to the percentage of volume that I want it to play at. The black line in the box is adjusting itself. I can lower the volume of other clips if I wish. I can use reduce background noise by how much, a certain percentage. I can use the equalizer to adjust the voice enhancement, the music enhancement, the loudness, the hum reduction, bass boost, bass reduce, treble boost, or treble reduce. So I'm going to ask it to enhance the music. Also add a filter to my clip. just like I can add a filter to my audio clip. And when I click that, have it play my audio using any of this type of effect. I'm just going to leave it as is. Click on this clip. I can alter the color saturation of my image, so I can do a lot of editing to my picture within the video. And all I have to do is click, and it will apply that to my image just by clicking these tools. The last thing I'm going to do is add my credits. Drag it down. I want to change the background from black, so I'm going to backgrounds, and I'm going to grab the underwater background, place it here, replace it, going back to titles. I'm going to grab credits one more time. It will know where to place it. I'm going to drag that over, and my credits are going to be very brief. I'm going to click, place my cursor so it knows where I want to start. My title is Nature. I can add any kind of role that I play. Give my name, 1, 2, 3, 4. Director. And I'm going to scoot this over. I can also highlight all of this and change the color. So I'm going to change it to this beautiful blue. And again, I can edit. And I'll move this over. For now, I'm not going to use the remainder of these. So I'm going to delete. But this is where I would give credit to whose music, the soundtrack. I'm going to increase this a little larger so it can be seen. I have now created my movie. My movie is 3 minutes, 25 seconds. I'm going to click here so you can see the completed project and tell it view, play from beginning, and here it goes. If you truly love nature, you will find beauty everywhere. Van Gogh. This painting was painted by a local artist. Notice it is all florals. He loved florals. He used the palette technique, and he loved nature. So I'm going to expand this, and I'm going to shorten this since there isn't a whole lot of credits to read, and I'll shorten this, and it's just going to roll faster. And I need to include a transition here. Man, there it is. Ready to publish my movie. Going back to my media, here is my media for my movie. It's titled Nature. Now I'm going to Projects. I'm going to rename this Nature. So now it's going to take me to my projects. Here it is. I'm going to my little circle. I'm going to share it to my theater. And what it is now going to do is share it here. It is adding it to my iCloud account. Because when I first set up my preferences for iMovie, I asked it automatically upload content to iCloud. It's going to publish it there. Here's my circle letting me know how far along it's progressing. If I wanted to, I could play it, rename it, delete it, or go directly to the project to re-edit it. I can also use this. Once this is done, I can click on it. A blue frame will appear, and I can complete any of those actions. To the right, I have the same icon for sharing, and I can email it to myself. It is a very short video, a very small file, so I can email it to myself. If I have a YouTube account, I can publish it to YouTube and then send the link that is created to anyone so that they can view my video. It's publishing it. The progress bar is moving, telling me that it is going to be published. Notice there is another one here with a flower. If I don't want this one, I can always go in, click, and delete. But I'm going to leave this one in place. If I wanted to use my trailer, I could open my trailer, go to project. Here's my trailer, and I could add my trailer to my movie. It's still publishing to iCloud because I can see the progress here going to my theater. And here's the progress bar. This is how you create an iMovie. It's very easy. It's all drag and drop. Remember, have your media prepared in a file so that all you need to do is drag and drop, bring it all in at once, and then select what you would like and what you would need. And all of your media will stay stored in the library that you have selected. My last step for this is to sign out of iMovie, and I'm going to wait until this is complete. That is how you create an iMovie.